Hey guys, welcome. It's Giovanna and the Ambassador of Healing channel. I'm grateful you're here. It's become really real to me over the last very short time that judgment and noticing this judgment we can be so easily offended by the opinions of others, and a lot of times we do need to focus inside. We do need to see a little bit more of ourselves and take the feedback, take notice of the feedback, and notice who the feedback is coming from. Is this someone that I'm close to, that knows me? Is this someone that I trust, that I would take their advice if they gave it? And then sit back and take a look at ourselves and say, what part of what's being said about me is true? Is this comment that was said, is it being said with good intentions? Is it being said with my best interest at heart? Am I clear on what was said, or is it being said to me in riddles where the person is trying to back away from being direct and honest and truly having connection with you? Because a lot of times people are afraid to speak their own truth, and that does not lead to more connection. It leads to extreme confusion. It actually is very toxic, and it leads to a lot of misunderstanding, and the connection is just totally missing. And then guess what happens to the connection? It disappears, because when people don't speak their truth and lean on fables and riddles and hope you get their smoke signals, signs, and messages sent through the cosmos, it leads to mistrust and distrust in the relationship. Because when you're not being forthcoming and honest and supportive to the other person that may really need to hear this information, and maybe they don't, maybe it's not true about them at all, and just being open to, well, my interpretation of them is completely wrong, and I'm just misunderstanding this person, their personality style, their character, whatever it is about them that I thought was true and accurate. Now I know, because I've gone to them and I said, you know what, this thing that you did, or this way that you were, it made me uncomfortable, or I just experienced you as XYZ, and I'm wondering if you noticed that about yourself. Oh my gosh, like, how enlightening of a direct, kind way to say something to a person. And if that person's open to getting that feedback, it will help the relationship grow so much. And if the person was doing that or wasn't doing it, doesn't matter. What matters is that we're speaking our truth, and we actually care enough about ourselves and the other person to be honest, to actually come forth and say, I don't know if this is what you intended, but this is the way I received this from you. And let's flip to the other script. Let's just imagine that the person comes to you with a riddle, and it takes you 2 days to figure the riddle out because you just don't know where this came from. It was sort of a left field comment, unrelated to you. The person was actually talking about themselves, completely off topic, and wanting to, I guess, relay a message. And then you think about it deeply and you're like, you know what, that's not me at all. So it's either a story that we're telling ourselves that this person really wasn't trying to give feedback, or we're asking ourselves what's true about what this person's saying about us. And in the process, we're seeing maybe this person just cannot receive what I'm giving, which is totally fine. Not everybody is going to receive you the way that you intend. Not everybody's going to receive you on the level that you're coming forward and bringing what you're bringing, and that threatens their experience. So that leads them to then need to justify, explain in their own brain, and then maybe come up with that they're helping you, instead of looking at the fact that they're bothered by you. They're bothered by you for whatever their own experiences, their resistance, their inability to receive whatever you're bringing. And I think that is a very important piece, because when that person is coming to you in riddles, I mean, gratefully they're coming to you at all, I suppose, because many people just don't say anything and move on and ghost and act like nothing happened and all of this weird extra stuff, which is totally dishonest and not forthcoming, not nurturing the relationship, thriving stories into oblivion where nobody's winning, and it's just a total lose-lose equation, because one's going off their own way with their story and the other's going off completely without knowing information that could be helpful to them. So that's just not a solution at all. But what is true is when somebody comes to you and gives this information to you in a riddle, instead of being direct and honest, it takes away the opportunity for you to look at yourself honestly and respond and connect at a deep level. And it also sort of gets them off the hook for having to look at themselves at all. So a lot of times we're just divinely present in these conversations, and we're able to communicate what needs to be said in the moment, so that that person can sort of understand, okay, maybe I am wrong about this person and they don't even need to tell me. Sometimes we do just have the right thing to say, so everyone's learning. And that's part of my message today too, is just to be clear that no matter what's being said to you, no matter what's pressuring you today, what's happening to you, whatever is happening in your family, in your relationships, in your own heart, in your own mind, in your identity, in your work, in whatever is happening with you, that you're perfect and you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. Nothing needs to change, nothing's broken, nothing needs to be fixed. Just notice the experience. How am I experiencing this in my body? Am I experiencing this person in a way where I feel like, oh, I want to be around this person more? Or am I experiencing this person in a way where they're just leaving me in confusion? They're leaving me feeling as if I don't exactly know what to do with this. And that is a lot of information right there. That is information. When we are left in confusion by other people, yes, we have to look at ourselves and we have to see, am I completely aloof? Was I not listening? Do we just speak different languages essentially? What's happening there, so that I can be my best self in each situation I step into. And then believe your gut, okay? This is something that I just want us all to do today, is just to believe your gut. If you feel it in your body, it's true for you, okay? And that's fine. We don't have to be matched up with everybody. I truly believe we're all one. I know we're all one. We're all part of this beautiful planet, this beautiful world. We're all molecules and cells, and each of us are just, that's all we are. We're energy. But I also get to choose, and so do you, who do I spend my time with? Who do I count on? Who do I believe in? Who do I trust? And when my values are in place and I know who I am and I listen to my body and I know that I'm right exactly where I am, things start to come into alignment. It isn't all about what somebody said. That's not changing how I feel about myself. It's maybe changing how I feel about them. It may be changing what I'm thinking about, how I operate, and maybe that changes things. But my values don't change. So how many of us know what our values are? Have we sat down to think about that? Have we written out our top values for ourselves, in our life, for our relationships? These are important things, because they don't always transcend boundaries. My values for myself, sometimes I have a little bit of a different value in my relationships, because it involves another person. So, I look at it a little bit differently. Then at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, after I look around and I've examined myself, I've looked at the other person, I've considered the situation, the dynamics, how long have I known this person, what do they mean to me, do I value their opinion, how does this stand up against my values that I have for myself? and what's true about this, what's true and what's not true, so that I can really improve and I can be really transparent, and I'm not running away from something that could honestly be feedback for me. Because we want that feedback. We want to welcome that feedback in our life. We want to celebrate feedback. As a culture, that would be ideal if we could all celebrate feedback and not be so afraid of telling other people the truth, not be so afraid of getting told the truth, because truth is truth. No one's going to change it, and truth is a mirror. So I welcome that into my life, and from those people that I trust when it comes to me being my best self. I absolutely want to hear that. And I encourage you to be open to it yourself. But do not let the thoughts and ideas of others change who you think you are, stop you from being you, make you feel small, make you crawl into yourself and say, oh no, now I have to question everything about who I am because of this person and their thoughts about me that I don't even know what it is, whether they're true or not true, because if they came correct and were honestly telling you the straight what's up, it would be very easy to discern, oh, well, I did do that and that was my intention, or it wasn't. But this other stuff, it aids confusion, causes trauma, damages relationships, hurts people, and it's not holy in my opinion. So I just encourage us to be honest with ourselves, be honest and direct with each other, have good intentions, speak the words with kindness, and know your values. Stick with your values, and remember, you're perfect. Right now, just exactly where you are. You don't need to do anything. This is all learning. It's okay to learn. And I bless you in this. I lift you up, and I am grateful for you. And I hope this has been helpful to you today. Talk to you soon.